Alright guys, so I haven't done an E36 video in a long time, but the season's coming up soon, so this finally needs to get worked on. Moved it into the working bay, found out that it has a check engine light, and I haven't even scanned that, and I put this thing away back in November, I believe. So that definitely has to get checked out. But before I even do that, you saw my JRZ coilover unboxing video. So we're gonna get this thing jacked up, remove the garbage stance coilovers, and put on the new stuff. Time to get the stance coilovers off. The main reason why I call these things garbage is because this lower locking nut never gets tight enough on the knuckle part. I don't even know what to call this, the bottom sleeve, and this always ends up loosening and it rotates or just gets loose, so your strut kind of gives you some play. So what I've done is Loctite this locking nut and also the sleeve to the threaded shock body. At this point it hasn't moved in a while, but that's just because there's a lot of Loctite in there. So as you can see, the sleeve and the threaded shock body, they're loose, they're spinning, but this lock nut on both sides is Loctited to the shock body itself. So I think with some, I'm just gonna use a heat gun because Loctite melts with heat. So I might just use a heat gun, and then I'm gonna take it off and then have somebody hold on this side, because this side is still Loctite. So somebody's gonna hold on this side, and I'm gonna start hammering this one. I've gotten this stuff loose before. Plus, just because there's surface rust doesn't mean it's rusted on, because this was never driven in the salt. That's the front. Gotta get creative on how to support everything while I remove all four corners, because I want to remove all four corners at once. Otherwise I might get stuck just doing two corners at a time, or I might just buy another set of jack stands, because honestly you can never have too few jack stands. So let's take a quick look at the differences between Stance and JRZ. I mean, first things first, you can see how much longer the shock is. So they're very good for me, at least. So I'm gonna get a lot more droop, I'm gonna get a lot more travel. I don't know which one yet, because I'm setting it up the same way as I had it set up before, with 6" in the front ride height. Yeah, so this is everything so far. Same ground control camber plates, and yeah, this is also much narrower because this is 65 mil and this is a 2.25 inch, which is more like 57.5. So saving a little bit of space here. Can definitely go lower if I want to, because these perches were fat. Now they're not so fat anymore. But anyways, well, we'll try to get this all installed and then figure out the hose routing, because it's got to go up through there somehow. there that is so far. Not much more updates, I guess, but everything is on. Everything is zip tied. I'm missing all my panels, so that's why you got those panels down there. It works. I mean, I don't see any issue with it. I gotta figure out how to mount this thing, so I'm gonna try and look online to see where people mount their remote reservoirs up front. I don't have a strut bar, so I can't tie it there, nor does it really reach up there. I don't know how other people do it, so we'll see. Alright, so let's take a look at installing weight jacks. You gotta jack them up. You have to get your jack on the control arm and get it up pretty high up, so that way when you look at the bottom, once I get to the bottom, if you get to the bottom, you can see there the bottom, I guess, nut that goes through the control arm to this top cone part. Then you're able to get it up, otherwise you'll hit the axle. Once you get that done, tighten it down hand tight. I have to clean this mating surface, basically, so this like bucket that the cone sits on, and I just use a wire brush doing that, just so this thing can sit flush without all the dirt and rocks holding it up. Then you gotta get your snap ring in there. I don't have a good snap ring plier, so I had to use a pick, so that's why I wore eye protection while doing that, just so it doesn't snap back into my eye. And then the last part is the top part of the articulating weight jack. Let me turn off some of the light so you don't get as much glare. But you just screw this all the way down, and then that's your weight jack installation. Spring is, ooh, now it's dark. Spring or shock gets installed up there. I am taking apart all the evap stuff right now also because I'm getting an evap code, but that's unrelated to this video. So, back to the time lapse. Let's take a look at everything real quick, at least on the rears. So, here is the rear shock, and compare it lengthwise to this guy. So the way I have it set is that this thing is shorter than this, but also, let me prop you guys down just to get a better look at this too. So travel wise, I guess, let me line the top of the shock mount up, which would be like right there to right there. So the top of the shock mounts are there. You can see how this is the start of the shock body and this is the bump stop on the JRZ, whereas the start of the shock body on the JRZ is actually down here. So a lot more travel. Also another nice thing, because I do think I was travel limited on these, and just they just weren't any good. But anyway, continuing on with the install. Alright, a look at the installation so far. So, ground control, rubber mounts, you get the studs at the bottoms. You can do it one-handed or with a single person, so that's nice. This stuff's all attached at the bottom. Spring wise, you got the urethane mount up here, then 5-inch coupler and a zero rate helper, and then the weight jack down there. So essentially, once I get weight on the car, this weight jack should turn so that it's always a straight shot. We'll see about that. It should be fine. But at full droop, and with the weight track lowered all the way. I'm not sure how you guys are going to see this, but nothing touches. It's close. It's really close. It doesn't touch though. So yeah. Next up is routing this canister, and it's gonna go through here, kind of like the other side. I don't know if I ever showed you the other side, but other side so far goes out through this flap, cut a little bit of it out, and then routes into the car like so. So what I'm gonna do is cut a slit in the I can't see anything. I'm gonna cut a slit in the carpet, route it through, and it's gonna be zip tied somewhere on this side. Alright, so the RE71s are out. Old junk pile of old coilovers, and the JRZ stickers are finally on. This is the rear end. Everything is buttoned up. Now let me show you how I mounted the reservoirs in the trunk. Still doing some other stuff, so that's like my carbon canisters taken out. So this is the cover for them, but you don't really need to see that. So here is the driver side. So zip tied on, it ain't going anywhere. This stuff's a little loose, but I don't know if it's supposed to be, but I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. Here's the other side, passenger side, tucks right behind the first aid kit perfectly. So I am all set. Now I am just testing ride height, and also got to make sure the hose is clear and I don't get any rubbing, and then we are good to go. So spares out. It's going in for an alignment very soon, and we are good to go. Alright, so here it is. Car's all set up and aligned. It's been a couple weeks since that last clip. Anyways, ride height is set. I don't like it as is, so you can see the front. The front can definitely go lower, but I want to balance it out with the back, and the back right now is as low as it gets, so this is how it's gonna stay. Haven't really figured it out yet setup wise, and it's gonna be an ongoing process, because this stuff was just kind of put it in and go. This stuff, you have a lot more adjustment, and the knobs do a lot of things. But anyway, signing out now. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.